Good afternoon, this is Colton with Bill Brothers Roofing and Solar doing a digital roof inspection here out in the Scripps Ranch area for a home that's transitioning owners. We like to do these inspections to kind of visually bring to life what's going on with the roof, and then talk about the current roofing system and then the sensitive areas and what the recommended action is for repairs, if any. This is a neighborhood that was built in the 70s. These homes were originally built with wood shake. I'm pretty familiar with this area, and so the roofs and the structure of the roof was all engineered for wood shake. And around 2000, they all had to transition to something else by fire code, and so a very popular roof that they put over the top of the wood shake was stone-coated steel. So this is actually a metal roof, and because of the how spaced apart the rafters are, you can only use a certain type of roof that's a lightweight material. So even the concrete tile roof over there, that's probably a lightweight concrete tile. And then shingles is very common to transition to. But when you have wood shake, you have skip sheathing or boards underneath, and you don't have plywood. And so when you take off, stone-coated steel can go over the skip sheathing, but when you go to shingle, you actually have to put plywood down. So it becomes a little bit more expensive. So this stone-coated steel roof is about 25 years old, I would estimate, based on history and the age of kind of what we're seeing, the deterioration of the metal stone-coated steel itself. And then you can see a solar system that was installed as well. So I actually just came from a job site in Bonita where we're installing a solar on a stone-coated steel roof, and we have to replace the stone-coated steel underneath, because if you were to install the solar on the stone-coated steel, you would bend a bunch of the metal, actually the tiles. So this is the proper way to do it. You actually want to see shingles underneath, but typically you'd like to see the whole roof plate done, just because the transition, the point of contact between these two roofing systems, the shingle and the stone-coated steel, is a very big sensitive area where you start to see cracking occur and stuff like that. So when we do it, we like to do the whole roof plane, but then you can see kind of where somebody has walked on it, kind of the bending in the metal, and then these are kind of the original T-tops, and then this roof is steeper than most, so it sheds water pretty quickly. But any roofing system, we're typically looking at kind of the end of its serviceable life, around 25-30 years. So at some point I would recommend transitioning the stone-coated steel to a shingle, just like the neighbor did right here. That roof looks really new. And then at that point, we can also, replace any damaged wood, any termite rot or anything like that. We do full, wood replacement. Easiest time to do it is when the roof is off. And so we can replace any fascia boards, rafters, or anything like that. We can also put a new layer of plywood down, kind of secure the substrate of the roof, fix this kind of sensitive area of the conjoining of two roofing systems, and then, pick a new cool rated architectural asphalt shingle, such as the neighbors. That's an amber color, looks beautiful, right? And then get this roof to where this homeowner has a 50-year asphalt shingle roof on the roof. So yeah, stone-coated steel metal roofing system is at that 25-30 year mark. That's typically when we start to see problems start to arise. There's no real tune-up process you can do for it, because at some point, wind-driven rain just gets underneath these tiles, and then the felt paper has basically failed. The felt paper is the waterproofing membrane of a tile roof, underneath concrete tile, underneath stone-coated steel, and then the shingles as well. We have an underlayment system that waterproofs it, and this is kind of a protective to that underlayment. So they did install the solar correct. You do want to put down asphalt shingle. You don't want to go over the top of the stone-coated steel, because you bend a bunch of them. You typically like to do the whole roof plane to secure it. This is a sensitive area right here, and then at some point we probably need to look at replacing all of the stone-coated steel with a shingle roof, and that would be a very kind of future-proof recommendation, to never worry about it again. So yeah, we'll provide some options here. Going to a shingle roof is probably the best recommended action. And then sensitive areas are going to be right here. Shingles are okay underneath the solar. It's what we want to see. And then kind of all the penetration flashings and mastic and stuff like that are kind of starting to give away. But we'll transition this and forward this inspection report on to the realtor. Thank you.